Bruichladdich, 30, 1986. We're about to open something that probably should never be opened.
Ryan, you told us to do it, and here we are.
2-minute review, no cuts, no edit. It's older than me.
It's older than me.
Not quite as old as Jay.
Lads, that's a good whiskey.
Wouldn't be for everyone though.
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
No, this is definitely an acquired taste, I'd say that. The colour is just so dark. it looks so thick.
It's a barrel.
It's just so dense when you're drinking it. It just has this clogginess to it, which is unlike any whiskey I've tried before.
When you watch movies like The Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio and fucking Kate Winslet, right? And Leonardo finally gets into the situation where he's, you know, in with the top crowd. That is the whiskey for that.
I'm going to have to score this higher than any other whiskey I've scored so far.
Jesus.
Wow.
This is the type of whiskey you could not drink every day. But it's a type of whiskey that you absolutely would want on a special occasion.
Welcome back, guys. It is the Craft Whiskey Boys, Jay, Mo, and Solly. Today we are reviewing the Bruichladdich 1986 30-year-old bottle. Tell me about it, Jay.
It's obviously an Islay whiskey. It's not a peated whiskey. They call it the Magnificent Seven. So I think there was 7 casks that were selected, whether it's 7 casks that were selected over a period of time for different releases or 7 casks for this. But a guy on our channel, he recommended we try it. He thinks it's going to score above a 9, which means if it does, Solly's going to have to send him a bottle of Bushmills 21.
I look forward to the days.
So now listen, normally we wouldn't allow anything below 500's like our limit and something that's commercially available. This is like 750 quid a bottle and it's not very commercially available. But we're going to bring it in because we made the rules afterwards. So it's going to squeeze in, it's going to get scored, it's going to go on the leaderboard. And if it is a 9, he is going to send you a bottle. But as
We sourced it because I know Master of Malt is sold.
Master Malt didn't have it. Whiskey Exchange didn't have it. I ended up finding it on an obscure website and got it sent in. So it's not readily available and it's super expensive. But if it scores it, and it gets a position and you get your bottle of whiskey from this man. But it's not your traditional commercial whiskey. We're trying to find 9s in the commercial range that you can kind of get your hands on comfortably.
Yeah. And a bit about Bruichladdich. They started in 1881. A couple of brothers, I think, started it, but recently bought by Remy Cointreau for something like 58 million. Are they traditionally a peaty whiskey? Because this is actually unpeated.
Doesn't Bruichladdich do the Octomore as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so, which is obviously the most peated whiskey in the world. So I know they have that range. This obviously isn't the peated.
I'm certain we've tried it before.
Normally in Scotland they take in casks and they even bourbon casks that are 200 litres and they'll break them down and turn them into 250 what they call 250 hogsheads or 225s depending on the distillery. But this one, I know it went from sherry butts into PX, so it's been in sherry its whole fucking life.
Yeah.
And we do love a sherry whiskey.
I do.
We're about to open something that probably should never be opened. I mean,
Yeah, I'm a bit lost at words, to be honest.
I'd like to know who came up with this bottling. Was this released with the new owners under Remy? Was that this marketing? Was it the guys before it? I wonder who came up with this.
There we go.
Come on.
Oh, it's a very rich colour.
The barrel's done a phenomenal job on this whiskey, but it has spent a lot of time. Oh, Jesus.
It's older than me.
It's older than me.
Well,
Way older.
So that's all we know about it.
Not quite as old as Jay.
Hey, I have a condition. I'm only 24. I have a grey condition.
You ever seen the movie George?
Yes? A little louder, Jack. Yes! There's nothing wrong with old age.
Here we go, guys. 2-minute review.
Wow.
No cuts, no edits.
You know the score?
Let's bring Alp and make that shit official. Bruichladdich, 30, 1986.
Oh, it's such a dark
yeah.
colour.
Oh my
The
God.
sherry is flying off the nose right there. Wow, not a lot of talking going on, guys. It's quite a nice nose, right?
It's a minute of appreciation.
No, I'm really, really tempted. Sorry, sauce. To see what it's like underneath.
Is there like dark chocolate there and a bit of nut?
That's all I'm getting.
Dark chocolate.
I'm not getting a lot on the neat glass, but on the tour, I'm getting so much more. Yeah, there's a lot of dark chocolate, dark fruits.
Wow.
In particular,
Very spicy.
What is the ABV on this bottle, by the way?
It's not that high. It's only 44.6.
Say I thought it'd be lower.
I definitely think it needs a drop.
it needs to be opened up, but it's really low.
Like a tobacco, that real strong taste. Like I've just
Like
smoked.
leathery monster, like lots of leather, lots of tobacco. It just shows what a cask will. Is you already watered, is you? Sorry, Mo. There you go. Here, do you want me to get you?
Yeah, thank you.
You need to pause that there and give us a little bit more time with this. 30 years in.
No pausing, no cuts, no edits, guys.
I know, but 2 minutes isn't enough.
Very powerful nose, lots of sherry on it, nutty, dark chocolate.
There's dark chocolate, but the nose is actually more developing into. It's the same. It's that cigar, tobacco, leather.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, for a Scotch, which you would normally attribute to a really old bourbon in a lot of senses, but
Oh, that is strong.
It's a very powerful whiskey.
Very powerful. Bold.
lads, that's a good
It
whiskey.
wouldn't be for everyone though.
Oh, absolutely not. No, this is definitely an acquired taste. I'd say that.
No way could the 2 minutes be up already.
It definitely could. We spent the
Look,
first 20 seconds
no,
speechless.
We talked and reviewed it over 2 minutes, but now we need to summarise, and this is where it comes in.
Now, the question is, we're not going to score this based on its price at 700 quid, because if I did, it would be a completely different score. But based on it just being a whiskey that I didn't know the price of, this is a good whiskey.
Oh, it's truly wonderful. You know, I'm not so much of a cigar smoker, but I couldn't imagine pairing anything else with a cigar than this whiskey. It would complement each other so well. A tobacco overload, but in such a good way.
From the finish right up into the roof of the palate, it just hangs. It hangs like a licorice, like a deep dark licorice, on top of all the tobaccos and the leathers and everything else. It's really, the licorice is coming through more than I thought. Not a sweet like black lace licorice, none of that, but more that aniseedy Thai basil.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a really tasty whiskey, and it's definitely worth having if you can. You just wouldn't drink that much of it, and I think the problem is it's just sherry overload. Sherry overload. But a lot of nice taste in there. The nose is good, the palate is great, and the finish is good. 8.3, baby.
Interesting.
This is a whiskey that you would never, ever drink on a normal night. It's a whiskey that you would drink, like I said before, when you watch movies like The Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio and fucking Kate Winslet, right? And Leonardo finally gets into the situation where he's, you know, in with the top crowd. They go to the old boys' room and they're all sitting there drinking cognac and smoking cigars. That is the whiskey for that. One or two, and that's all you could have in a night. It's too luscious, it's too overpowering. There's no way you could drink any more. But it is a world-class whiskey for one or two drinks. But it is not a drink you would drink more than that, in my opinion. Do you agree or not?
Absolutely. Look, just looking at the whiskey itself in the bottle is like what I used to make for my espresso martinis, a cold brew. The colour is just so dark. it looks so thick.
It's a barrel.
It's just so dense when you're drinking it. It just has this clogginess to it, which is unlike any whiskey I've tried before. And that's, for me, what set it apart. And that's why I have to score it at a higher level. Because I love the whiskies I've tried in the past, the ones I will continuously go back to, and that's where the romanticizing and appreciation comes from, because I have a staple, you know, something I can rely upon. However, this is something that isn't going to be as easily accessible, and to drink it is a privilege. Like you said, it may have been sacrilegious that we even opened the bottle in the first place, but hey, Ryan, you told us to do it, and here we are. With all of that being said, you know, I have to be honest, for me, I'm going to have to score this higher than any other whiskey I've scored so far, and I'm going for an 8.8.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I know, it's bold, but I will back it. And, you know, if I have the opportunity to be somewhere in a bar and I see this on a shelf somewhere, I know that's going to be the only whiskey I'd buy. You know, especially if I'm a few with drinks.
Depends on the mood though, right?
It's the excitement. The fact that I've tried that. Now, picture this in your mind for a minute. You're out here having a few drinks with your friend, you've tried all these whiskeys, and this friend looks at you for whiskey advice, and you're in a bar, and suddenly you see something of this caliber on the shelf. You're going to tell me you're not going to buy a shot of this, at least?
I would make him try 2 or 3 whiskeys first.
Of course.
Pennyman's not buying a shot of this for anyone.
Pennyman.
He's like, you're a Pennyman, black t-shirt, you never look nice, Pennyman.
You still haven't changed your dress sense.
All right, so Ryan Sheridan, you recommended this. Thank you very much. Very good recommendation. Is it a 9 whiskey? It nearly is. It nearly is. I think if they had to release this at 25 or 23 years old, without it getting too overpowered by the sherry, I think then yes, this probably would have been. As a younger whiskey, this was a 9 whiskey. I just think it went over its peak and went too far around the back, and it's just too overpowered. And but it's still gorgeous. I would absolutely buy this. I will definitely keep this in my collection. Is it worth the 700 quid? That it's 700 pounds that I paid for it? I think so. I actually think it is.
People pay £40 a shot for that any day of the week.
Yeah, I think why not? Because it's delicious. I'm at an 8.1. I'm at an 8.1. 8.1 for this. Why am I so low when I'm at an 8.6 for a redbreast? Is this better than a redbreast? Most people that taste this will say absolutely yes. It's more viscous, it's more flavorful, there's more complexity. It nearly makes redbreast stand on its head, but the problem is that it's so good in all those areas that it does tip over into the point that it's just gone past peak and nowhere near what I thought it could have been. I wanted to give this a 9. I was excited to give it a 9. I can't. It's an 8.1 for me.
So there you have it, guys. An 8.4, which is a fantastic score. Really nice whiskey. I am a humble man with humble means, so I won't be buying a bottle of this for my shelf, but every time I come to Jay's, I probably will finish my night off with a shot of it.
Cheers, brother.
Most importantly, guys, thank you for watching our video. As always, like, comment and subscribe. I'm not going to tell you again. If you are watching these videos and you haven't subscribed, you know, just go away. No, I'm joking. I love you.
Will tell you again.
I'm
in another
joking.
video.
I love
Yes, not in
you.
this
No.
video.
I love you. I love you really. Just press the button. It's not going to hurt you. I'm not going to come to your house. I might. If you don't, but just be good. Craft Whiskey Boys out.